new Aston Martin Formula One campus, due to open in just a few months' time. But tonight, it's the venue for the reveal of the AMR 23.
This year is a new chapter for me and for the team as well. It's really the first year that the team has put in place different concepts on the car, a real structure for the future.
The work we're embarking on with Aramco is all focused on establishing a long-term technical legacy.
Well, the new building gives us a lot of opportunity to grow as a team. I think it's a big evolution from last year and very exciting.
Factory is going to be a game changer, and having a partner like Cognizant is invaluable.
In the next 3, 4, 5 years, Aston Martin will become a top team for sure in Formula One.
Welcome to the Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant Formula One team's 2023 car launch. What a start we've had already. The sound of this year's launch is an exclusive release of Rain Radio's latest track, Colours. You'll hear that throughout the event. And I should add also, there will be flashing images as well throughout our launch tonight. Now, we are very excited to be here at the team's spectacular new factory. This is the first building in a multi-building campus right on the doorstep of the famous Silverstone circuit. And it's due to be operational in just a few months' time. The scene is set to usher in the all-new AMR 23. There is so much energy and excitement around this team right now as it enters the next phase of its plans to shake up the order. Well, the key ingredients are coming together. There's a fresh and dynamic driver lineup that's spearheading that team. We've also got new blood across the technical and the leadership departments too. Soon we will get to meet the AMR 23 in the flesh and the broader team around it all together in one place for the very first time. But first of all, let's welcome to the stage, please, the person behind it all, the executive chairman of Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant Formula One team, Lawrence Stroll. Lawrence, it's great to see you again. First of all, how's your winter been? Busy, I guess?
Very busy. I'm pushing the guys along to build this wonderful car we're about to see tonight, and pushing the guys along at Gaydon, introducing our next generation new exciting sports cars that are coming. So it's been very exciting.
Good to launch this today and see so many friendly faces as well.
Yes, that's for sure.
I know you've said recently you've never worked so hard as you have on this project. Just explain to us why this is so important to you and what's behind your vision.
Well, this is an incredible brand. As you know, it's our 110th year anniversary. There's not too many automotive companies that could say that or have that level of history. And this was a project I embarked on a few years ago to create the, hopefully, one of the greatest Formula One teams that will be. And the building, as you rightfully point out, is one step. The people are another step. We already had 400 very talented people that punched above their weight before. We've basically doubled that head count, and we've added this incredible facility. Nothing like it in Formula One today. It's state-of-the-art and doesn't compare to anything else that exists. And we're doing the same thing in the road car side of the business. You know, we've introduced the greatest SUV in the world in our DBX, and we're about to launch all these great new sports cars. So the passion comes from excitement. And when I get excited about something, I get very passionate. And when I get very passionate, I win.
This is good to hear. This is good to hear. Also, though, your history with motorsport goes back further than maybe a lot of people realise, and it's really in your blood, isn't it? Your love
Yes,
for motorsport.
well, as a fan, forever. Got involved a little bit in the early 90s with Team Lotus. Understood what to do and what not to do. It was a very learned experience, and some of those lessons I've brought here. But yes, it goes way back.
When you bought this team with a vision. We're here in year 3 of this journey. We're in this amazing new factory, and there's been more growth as well, hasn't there, around the team? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, as I've just mentioned, we've basically doubled the headcount. We've already had some extraordinary people in the business. The team was successful before I took it over, but the people we recently brought in with the people we currently had are bringing this to a whole new level. And as I say, looking forward to be fighting for world championships in the future. Formula One, like any other business, is a journey. This will only be our 3rd year in this journey. And as I think everybody knows, whether it's Formula One or any other business, it takes a little longer than 3 years. But the plan this year is to make a step, and next year make another step, and the year after another step, until we're winning and ultimately fighting for world championships.
The factory we're standing in right now feels like a real statement of intent from the team. Would that be fair to say?
I'd say it's a game changer. You saw earlier today where we're currently working out of. It was over 30 years ago where Eddie Jordan had started. We've significantly outgrown that several years ago. We were actually hoping to build this building a little bit earlier, but due to COVID, we obviously had a couple of years wait. But it couldn't come too soon, and it is a game changer. Everybody will be able to sit together, communicate better. Departments will be closer to where they should be a complete different working environment. And the formula for a winning Formula One team is people, process, and tools. This will be the greatest tools. We already have some of the greatest people, and we'll put in the processes.
First ever smart factory as well.
Yes, the first ever smart factory in Formula One. That's very true.
It's going to be incredible. The imminent future, though, is here.
Yes.
The AMR23.
Under this cover.
Under this cover. It's come together through a lot of hard work.
Tremendous amount of hard work by, as I say, close to 800 very, very devoted, dedicated people. The motivation when you walk around the factory, the excitement of the people in building this car, there's really a buzz. There's a buzz through all of Aston Martin, through here in Silverstone, through our road car companies in Gaydon and St. Anton. Everybody's really on a high and very motivated about building really the greatest high-performance, ultra-luxury brand, and we're going to do it.
You're known as an incredibly successful businessman, but Formula One, as we know, is a results-based business. While the team hasn't challenged for titles yet, you've touched on it a little bit there with the ingredients. Do you feel you've got all the right ingredients in place now to achieve your goals?
I think we have most of the right ingredients in place. The one ingredient we're missing is a bit of time, and there's no replacement for time. But from a managerial, executive level, from a personnel level, yes, I believe we have all the right people in place. And this building, again, brings a whole new dimension and dynamic to driving towards that success. And we just need to be, which I don't have a great deal of patience required to get to where we ultimately want to be. We will get there.
The desire to win is definitely there, that's for sure. You've got a very skilled and dedicated workforce here, haven't you? But you can't take this journey alone. You need your partners.
Partners are critical. We have some spectacular partners in Cognizant, for example, Aramco, who not only sponsor but help technically in driving the team forward through the personnel they give us, through the technology that they share with us. No, we have great partners. We have great fans. We have a tremendous following in Aston Martin. And really, since Aston Martin has come back to Formula One, we're going back to our roots, the level of fan engagement and the level of excitement from the younger generation, and we see it through our sales of our road cars. It's significantly improved dramatically since Aston took to the track.
You mentioned it there, touched on it. It's a big, big anniversary this year, isn't it? 110 years. How important is the sport to Aston Martin in growing its legacy? It's
critical. The sport has a halo-down, trickle-down effect on our road car company. It's also taking the technology out of these cars and bringing them into our road cars. You know, it's Formula One business itself is on fire. The fan engagement is spectacular. it's doing what it's supposed to do, even faster and in spades.
It's in its DNA.
It's in its DNA. It's bringing the DNA back to what the DNA should be. Technology, racing, performance.
Lawrence, thank you so much for talking to us today. Good luck this year. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Lawrence Stroll. Well, it's not just about all of you here today. Fans are watching this event all around the world and at a fan event in London as well. So we eagerly await the launch of the AMR 23. It is not long to go now. I'd like to welcome to the stage now our next guest. Please welcome Team Principal Mike Crack. Welcome, Mike. It's good to see you. And I always ask, how's your winter been? But for you, I imagine it was pretty busy and maybe not much time off.
Not much time off, you're right. I got my first Silverstone winter this winter, so it was not only busy, but quite wet and cold as well.
To those who aren't aware, you've got a fantastic history in motorsports. So tell me, how does this project compare?
Well, actually, I'm very privileged to be part of this very ambitious project, huge potential. If you see the amount of investment that is going on here, it's just incredible, and it shows the ambitions that we're having. We are only in year 3 now for Aston Martin, year 2 for me, but you see already things are coming together.
The will to succeed as well is hugely important. You can feel it here as well.
Exactly, yes.
Abu Dhabi seems like an age ago. 2023 will be your second season with the team. How are you feeling heading into this season? What's the difference?
Well, I think last year we saw that from the middle of the season we really made very good progress. The team is really on a high. We have improved in all areas, and we want to take a next step. We want to take a step forward from where we have been, and we don't know where we're going to end up. But I think everybody has worked extremely hard over the winter on the AMR 23. And we should see what it is, but our intention is to make a good step forward.
Technical department's changed a little bit as well. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the setup there?
Yeah, we have recruited quite a lot of new people, like Dan Fallows, like Eric Blondin. We have integrated them in a workforce that was already very strong before, and it made us even a lot stronger. We have spoken about the facilities we have now. We are outgrown of them. The new building will be really game changer for us. We will have everybody working together, and we look forward to that.
It's an exciting driver lineup for 2023, of course. What are you expecting out of Lance and Fernando? Just pretend they're not listening, it's fine.
They're not listening, probably. Yeah, it's a very exciting lineup. Lance is doing his 7th year in Formula One. Huge talent, did really well compared to Sebastian, a 4-time world champion. And it's up to us to give Lance the competitive car that he's deserving. We have seen in the past podium, so it's up to us to give the tool. Fernando, huge speed, determination. The hunger that Fernando is having is really inspiring for all of us as a team, and has already played big marks. But we have not only these two, we have also Formula 2 champion Felipe Drugovich, we have Formula E World champion Stoffel van Don, and our ambassadors Jessica and Pedro. So I think we're all set up really well for this season, and we cannot wait to get it going.
No, nor can I. Thank you very much, Mike. Mike Crack, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, as we mentioned, there is a new driver lineup this year who make up part of a wider squad that epitomise the passion, the energy and the purpose of this team.
Formula One means nearly everything to me. As a child, I never imagined to become a Formula One driver. That was a dream.
It's been a big part of my life since a very young age.
Racing to me is everything, because I genuinely have no idea what I would be doing in my life if it wasn't for this point.
No matter how many times you drive a Formula One car, the feeling when you are behind the wheel is always the same. It's just of a massive respect of what you're driving.
Oh, it feels good.
Butterflies, adrenaline, excitement, feelings that never get old.
As racing drivers, we really like the speed, and something that you can get in the F1 car is something, ridiculous. It's so fast.
We love the speed, but for me what is the most important is the competition.
The whole team has to have the same energy and has to believe that is possible. Hello, Mike. How do you feel ahead of the season?
Very good. Everything is progressing.
Well, I'm extremely proud of the team's efforts. They've done an amazing job. And the team's been working desperately hard. The last 12 months in particular, culminating in really the birth of AMR 23.
We have you here finally, so I'm quite confident. I hope you are the same.
It's so exciting watching this team grow from relatively humble beginnings to what we're looking to achieve in the next few years. We're all massive Formula One fans. I'm still a fan. I love my job. You know, it's much bigger than all of us.
The first thing that as a driver you need to understand is that you are one more.
You are part of a team of 1,000 people nearly, that every one of them is important.
We all are a very motivated group of people, and the only way that we're going to win races is by working together.
This year is going to look so much better. Everyone is so passionate to want to win.
I think this team has really grown a lot over the last 12, 18 months, and I think it's only the beginning.
Believe. That's the word, that's the message.
Aston Martin is just so special. It's true heritage.
It's been built around a race team, a Formula One race team. There is a strong energy in the team that makes you feel we're unstoppable.
Now we're ready for the year.
Well, it's not just the driver squad. More than 700 great men and women, both at the track and at the factory, who make it possible for the team to go racing around the world, have poured their hard work and their energy into the AMR 23. Are you ready? Let's see it.
Aston Martin was forged on the track, and we're still here at the pinnacle of motor racing, 110 years later.
It marks a real beginning of a new chapter in our story.
There's new energy. You know, it really seems like the pieces are starting to fall into place.
We have left no stone unturned.
I'm super motivated. This is probably the biggest project of my life.
Supporting each other and trying to improve every day.
It's a very exciting time in the team, working so hard every day.
It's just the grounding that the team needs to move forward.
We've created a collaboration that spans the factory floor to the checkered flag.
With the advancements in tech, new personnel, and then of course with the new factory, where that's going to take us in the future is really exciting.
A striking car with a striking colour.
Well, Lance, Fernando, nice to see you both.
Hello.
What do you think, Lance?
Yeah,
It's cool.
Fernando,
Hopefully
first
it
thoughts?
drives as good as it looks.
Well, they say if it looks good, it's going to be quick, right?
Yeah, we'll find out in a couple of weeks, but very exciting. It looks great. It's always an exciting day to see the car for the first time.
Fernando, your thoughts?
Yeah, it looks great. It looks amazing. So yeah, we just need to make sure that it's fast. It's up to us now on every race we can, and I can't wait to put the hands on the steering wheel.
Lars, how was your winter? We saw you've been skiing. Enjoy that?
Yeah, it was fun. I had a nice winter training. Yeah, spent a bit of time away with some friends and ready to get back to racing.
Refreshed and ready to go. And Fernando, this is the start of a new chapter for you this year. How's it been getting to know your new team?
Yeah, it has been quite amazing, to be honest. You know, the last few months we've been in contact, and obviously from January I've been here in the factory, some simulator sessions, meeting new people, and yeah, also visiting the new facilities that they will be ready soon. And I feel this energy, a lot of things going on in the team now. New people that joined the technical department last year, this new factory, new wind tunnel soon, new driver. So everything is good, and I can't wait to drive, as I said.
I feel like you might have touched on it there a little bit, but I mean, you've got plenty of experience in this sport. So what made you choose to come here? What were the factors that made you think, I want to carry on racing and this is a challenge I'm going to take?
Well, I think a little bit the new people that joined the team, which shows how ambitious everything is here in this project. The leadership of Lawrence, obviously, is a big thing as well. This investment plus the talent is normally a good recipe for success in Formula One. So hopefully we can make this success come in as soon as possible, and we will try to make some shortcuts there.
Lars, this is your third year as an Aston Martin driver. What are your goals heading into this season?
Well, I think we want to be competitive. We improved a lot throughout the year last year. We started in a really difficult place, but we made a lot of progress, and towards the end of the year we were in a position to score points consistently, and I think that was a great job by the whole team to make such big progress through the year. And then coming into this year, I think it's just really exciting for everyone. This car is completely different. A lot of work over the winter has gone into building this car. A lot of new ideas, new people on top of the very talented people that have been here for a long time. A lot of new people joined over the last year or so. So I think it's just a really exciting time for the team. Just can't wait to get out on track and get behind the wheel.
And you've got a new teammate as well alongside you.
Oh yeah, and a new teammate. Almost forgot.
And finally, what are your expectations for this year at the wheel of this car? It's part of the journey, I know, that Aston Martin are on, and the ambition in the end is to win titles. So what are your expectations for this year? Yeah,
I think if we can consistently be fighting for good points, podiums, if the chance is there. I think it's just about making another step from where we were last year. Last year we were the 9th team at the beginning of the year, and then we just missed out on 6th in the constructors, equal on points with Alfa Romeo, which was actually a great recovery in the second half of the season. And I think this year, if we're fighting further up the field again, that's got to be the goal. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where we sit in Bahrain.
Fernando, your expectations for this season?
Yeah, very similar. I think we have to make sure that we have a good baseline for future Aston Martin cars, that they will come in the future. Last year, I think the team went through with some difficulties during the first part of the year, but they had a good second part of the year, so we have to see that progress also into 2023 with the feet in the ground. But we will not be happy with fourth, we will not be happy with third, we will not be happy with second. So maybe we cannot win immediately, but that's something that we need to make sure this car is the baseline for future years.
Great stuff. Thank you very much. We have a question now. A very special group here today, standing just in front of me, have joined us from Raspberry Pi, a Cognizant Global Philanthropy and Outreach Programme grantee, Silverstone UTC, and from the Aletto Foundation. And I believe Crofty has somebody who'd like to ask you guys a question.
I definitely do, Rachel Brooks. We have our friends from Silverstone UTC who say the car looks beautiful. Amazing, beautiful. From Raspberry Pi, which is a computer technology charity, the car, Noah, looks...
really pretty.
Really pretty. This is great. It's a good start. Now we've settled on that, we have a question for one of our drivers. It's all yours.
For Lance, growing up, who was your biggest idol?
Michael Schumacher.
Good choice.
Yeah.
No, it's, you know what, I was just a fan of the sport growing up. I loved racing. You know, I watched Fernando in my young years growing up. You know, he was the guy winning the races and championships. But I'm not going to lie, I was cheering for Michael at the time. But still, you know, really happy to have Fernando in the team now and, you know, really excited to work together.
Yeah.
Those 05-06 seasons, they must have got you out of bed early there. Lance, who's your idol? Noah?
My idol's Fernando Alonso.
Can we get an autograph later?
Of course.
Do you still get Lance's autograph? You do, don't you, as well? He'll get yours too. The rivalry begins. Great stuff. Noah, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you, Crofty, as well. Thank you very much, Fernando and Lance. We look forward to seeing you take this beauty out onto the track at testing in Bahrain in just a week's time. And thank you for your time for the time being. Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll.
Thank you.
Yes, not long to go until we'll see the car on track, but let's go for a little bit of a deep dive under the hood of this AMR 23. I'm very pleased to say we can be joined now by Technical Director Dan Fallows. Dan, good to see you, responsible for delivering this for those two to drive. But you're a recent hire at the team, having joined last year. So what's been the biggest change to this year?
Well, I think you can see that the car is very, very different from last year. We're around 95% of the car is actually completely different from AMR 22. We went into this year, this development phase, trying to be bold, trying to be aggressive, and trying to take on the lessons from last year. As Lance alluded to, we did make quite a bit of progress through AMR 22. We wanted to make sure that this is a sensible evolution of that, but it also gives us a really good platform to develop on. But at the same time, to make sure that it was aggressive, that we did take on, you know, give a big challenge to all of the engineering team to make sure that they really push themselves. And I think you can see that in the design of the car.
Last year's regulation changes kind of left it wide open in terms of the interpretation of those regulations, and that caused quite a few teams problems in terms of which route they would take with that. So how have the team countered that this year, and how have you adapted to the small regulation changes that have come in?
So I think firstly on the 22 regulations, you can see that, you know, the cars were very different last year, obviously from 2021, but, you know, they were very different from each other. There were a lot of different interpretations around the rules. We eventually found our own philosophy, found a direction that we were happy with, and you can see that reflected here. I mean, I think the things that really stand out from last year are the front end, the front wing particularly, you know, right through to the kind of the side pods. These are the very sort of aggressive features that we've been working on. So these are all evolutions, if you like, of the rules as they were. The new rules that have come in for this year, they're not particularly big, and I think visually, you know, a lot of the cars will be quite similar, but there are some fairly significant features for us. So, for example, you know, looking straight in front of me, the mirrors here are much larger than they were last year. That's been introduced to make visibility obviously a lot better for the drivers. As an aerodynamicist, I could say I'm not very happy about that, but, you know, equally, I suppose they need to be able to see occasionally. We also have this roll hoop change, so you can see a lot of people have a new design of airboxes. This is to be, again, to have a stronger roll structure at the top of the car, which I think is incredibly important. Safety is always obviously on our minds. And the other one, which is perhaps a little bit more subtle, there have been some changes to the floor regulations for this year. So the floors have had to be raised in the middle of the car. That's to try to combat this porpoising or the bouncing of the cars that we saw quite a lot of last year. And for designers, for us, that's been quite challenging. That was obviously a bit of a reduction in the downforce on the car, which we had to combat that. So not only did we have to make a big step on last year's car, but we also had to contend with this reduction in downforce that we got as a result of that. But hopefully what we'll see is that not only are the cars equally exciting to watch, but we don't see this problem that the drivers have with the bouncing as well.
Yeah, it looked painful last year, I'm not going to lie.
It did.
The team's moving here to this fantastic factory later this year. What will this bring you as you continue to try and develop this car throughout the season?
Well, I think the phrase "game changer" has been used a few times, and I'd completely agree with that. From a design perspective, we are spread across multiple buildings. Some of the teams that I don't work with directly day to day, but do work with, quite often, are spread out across the various buildings we have. They're all going to be brought under one roof, and I think in terms of collaboration, being able to work together to have those sort of creative discussions, that's incredibly important for us. But for the rest of the business, being all under one roof, essentially, or three roofs, if you're being technical about it, that is a huge thing for us to be able to have the manufacture of the car done on site. We are also going to have our own wind tunnel, which, from a point of view of the technical side, is incredibly beneficial to us, and we can't wait for that to come online.
I've got a question now, actually, from one of our Aramco guests, Aramco employee, Ahmed Ibrahim. He wants to know, we saw a huge amount of development for the AMR 22 last year, particularly in the second half of the season. So, how much of this launch spec car do you think will still be there at the end of this season?
Well, that's an excellent question. I think, this is a fundamental basis for the development we'd like to do. It is definitely a step on last year's car, but we always see that this is a platform to keep developing on. I would say, you could expect up to 2/3 of the car to be different by the time we get to the end of the season. It's as much of that. I mean, we're always looking to be ambitious about the changes that we make, and, so I think we need to look at it. By the time we get to the end of the season, we'd be looking back on this car and thinking, oh, that looks so old now.
So we all think your job's done when it gets to launch, but actually it's only just started.
Oh, no, it's very, very much the beginning.
All right, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Dan Fallows. Right, now, I believe Crofty is here somewhere. Crofty, you're going to introduce us to more of the driver roster for 2023.
Yes, I'm here with the driver squad. Felipe Drugovich, whose idol is Lance Stroll. He tells me we're just going to redress the balance from young Noah there a little bit earlier. But as F2 champion, what are you going to be up to this year?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think Lance is not so much older than me, but, I was watching him growing up, I would say. But... I got this opportunity with Aston this year. I'm going to be following the team throughout most of the races and trying to learn as much as I can. I think that's the main goal for me, and be ready for maybe a future opportunity.
You've already been hard at work in the sim. Can you give us any little teasers as to how this car might perform?
Well, in the sim, it's feeling amazing. Obviously, a big step forward from last year. It always depends how much the others are going to improve, but I think everything is in a right way to improve. And as they just said, hopefully this is a good platform to keep developing.
And last year was 50 years since Emerson Fittipaldi became Brazil's first Formula One world champion. It was the year you signed for Aston Martin. You're the latest Brazilian driver. We want to see you on the grid one day. Brazil wants to see you on the grid one day.
Yeah, that's the main goal. I'm working really hard to be representing Brazil there one day. As you can see now, with me coming into the team, we'll have new partners with XP and Porto, I think, helping out the team. Brazilian partners is always good. And I'm working really hard to be there one day, and hopefully I can, represent Brazil there.
And whilst you and Stoffel Van Dorn will share the reserve driver duties, Jessica Hawkins as team ambassador and also driver development. What are you going to be doing working with the team this year?
Much the same as my previous 2 years. So this is my third year with the team. I'll be working closely with Pedro as well. It's great to be working with some new faces. But yeah, no, it's great to be part of a developing team, a team that are very hard working, and I'll be learning as much as I can with the team, and it's great to have access to the simulator now. So I had my first go on the simulator last year, which was amazing. So yeah, working hard behind the scenes.
How much, and this is now the third year with Aston Martin, how much has that aided you working alongside Lance, Sebastian last year, Fernando this year, Pedro you mentioned, and of course Felipe?
Yeah, I mean, a Formula One car is quite different to the cars that I've been racing the last few years, although they're very similar and they take similar pieces from the puzzle. They're really quite different. But there are so many other things that I can be learning, like processes, communication, the things engineers and all the drivers look for in their processes and the way they go about things. So yeah, whilst they're not directly the same, there are so many similarities. So yeah, I can learn a lot.
Now, 1998, you were not even thinking about racing at that stage yet, 3 years old, slightly older, 13 I think at the time, Pedro de la Rosa. You were a test driver here at Silverstone for Jordan. Place has changed a little bit since you've come back.
Yeah, what are you trying to say? I mean,
how time flies, Pedro.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely, and it's incredible for me to be here. I'm extremely proud to be part of this team. Let's not forget, as you say, in '98 I arrived here for the first time. I was a kid, maybe 3+, and I remember opening the door, getting to meet Eddie Jordan, and I was their test driver. So it's obviously things have changed. Overall, I would say I have learned a lot. I've had a lovely journey, and I'm very proud to keep learning here with this team today.
And it's great to see your enthusiasm as you return to Team Silverstone and embark on your ambassadorial duties for Aston Martin. Will you be lending an expert helping hand behind the scenes as well?
Well, I have to be honest. I think Lance and Fernando don't need any help from me, from an old dog. They're so good. They're so, just above my level, to be honest. So, but in any case, I'm here. I'm willing to help the team in many other aspects like communication, PR, marketing events. So here I am, and I hope to do a good job for them.
And you know Fernando quite well. I mean, he's got his arms folded. He's trying to ignore you for the moment. But what sort of a driver are Aston Martin getting for this year and next?
Well, I'm glad you asked this question and that he's not listening to me right now. He's a competitive animal, I mean, Fernando is always a reference to all of us, and every day you spend with him, you learn something new, and that's really invaluable. And that's why I think together with Lance, they will be a super strong pair. I'm sure Lance will learn a lot from Fernando. He will grab all that experience in his toolbox and apply it efficiently. So I think that they really will get on very well. They will be a very strong pair, and we will have fun with them as well.
I think we certainly will. Now, either the lights are a bit strong here, or you just made Fernando Alonso blush a little bit, because he's gone a little touch red, which could be a world first. He's saying no, but can't deny it on the rosy cheeks. On that bombshell, we'll hand back to Rachel.
Crofty, thank you very much. Thank you, Crofty, Felipe, Jess and Pedro. Now, before we finish today, I'm sure we've all been incredibly moved by the terrible earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. And there are several staff members that work at Aston Martin F1 whose communities back home have been affected. And so today, in support of them, we have launched a fundraising campaign to support the Disasters Emergency Committee appeal. And we would love you to join us if you can and donate anything you can towards it. The details are on all of AMF1's social channels, and they'll also be on the screens here at the end of today. So thank you in advance for anything you can do to help. But also, thank you for your continued support for the team. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to everybody watching all around the world. And most importantly, thank you for joining us and sharing in our excitement for what is to come. We will see you on track very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.